I am not here to argue.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello and welcome to I'm Not Here to Argue, a podcast where a couple talks about stuff. That couple being
Gherkin Picklewater,
and
the Velvet Fist.
and here we are.
In the flesh for once. We're doing this as a video podcast this time instead of just audio. And the reason why we seem so distracted is because different notifications are popping up because we're doing this with video, which it doesn't happen when I do any other video podcasts. I guess it's because I do that little bit of sing-songiness at the beginning.
Yeah, so it asked if you were recording a song.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. I'm just gonna move that way a little bit so you get more light and I get less.
Yeah, because you're going. It's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's been at least a month, so we're keeping to
At
our current
least
schedule of
once every month or so.
or something.
Yeah.
We
We've got a lot to talk about, but we have no idea what that is. We're going to talk about some pop culture stuff.
we already talked about your we've done at least one this summer, so we've already talked about the Friends, I assume.
Do we talk about the French? I don't know. You want to look it up on your phone or my phone?
Sure.
I'll look it up on my phone while you talk.
Well, I'm eating a
Yeah,
thing.
you took a bite. That's perfect timing on my part because I am full of perfect timing. Let's go to our web host for
Spreaker.
podcasts. We host these on Spreaker. You may get them somewhere else, but we host them on Spreaker.
Hmm.
And they get RSS fed out to a bunch of other places.
Who knows where? We're
Who
just
knows where?
all over the world. Um, so yeah, it is pretty much the end of summer here.
We did talk about the Hollywood Fringe Festival, Supergirl, and some other stuff last time.
I forgot about Squirrel.
And that was, is
That's
there
been
a
in
date?
July.
July 13th. So it's been about a month.
Wow.
We should speed it up a little bit and how often we do these. So that's kind of my fault. But I just redid the podcasting situation so we could use two microphones instead of one, and they don't match. I'm using a cheap little Behringer uh, handheld mic, and she's got a really nice Audio Technica um, because it should pick up better because she's a little quieter than I am when we talk.
Yep. Make no mistake though, these are both his microphones. He's just letting me use one for the purposes of this recording.
I got them for us to use for recording for us. Don't even. I anyway.
Anyway,
Anyway, so we can talk about pop culture stuff or we can talk about personal stuff. Which would you rather start with?
let's start with a cold open.
Do you know what a cold open is?
It's what they do on SNL. I think it's like an
It's when they just
icebreaker.
no, it's when they just start without any preamble. We already did our preamble, so we can't do a cold open
Okay,
now.
icebreaker.
An icebreaker. Okay, we can do an icebreaker. Um, what did the snake give his date at the end of their evening?
Uh, oh, a hickey?
Oh, that'd be so cute. A snake giving someone a hickey. No, a good night hiss.
Okay. Yep, that's
Your turn.
um um what is black and white and red all over?
A newspaper.
Correct.
Wonderful.
Great.
Wonderful. We are great. That is, the ice has been broken thoroughly, and we are sinking into our hypothermic depths.
Okay, that's cheerful.
Yeah. The world isn't very cheerful right now, and I want it to be, and I try and keep my mind up. I work really hard on not letting the horrors grind me down.
It's been a challenging, well, sorry, as far as pop culture news, it's been a challenging like 24-hour period.
Okay. As far as life, it's been a challenging, like, since the pandemic, like, since we got married, which I've loved being married to you, and I want to continue being married to you for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
But since around the same time as we got married, things went to shit.
The world in general?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Pandemic and Trump and all the other things that have gone to hell, AI, just all the things that have happened in the last 6 years. There haven't been a lot of good things aside from you in my life.
Okay.
I moved, I mean, I started at Stanford, which I hated. The move up to my current job was better, but it's still not ideal. Um, I But I've done some cool things in the last few years.
Hmm.
I had my improv troupe, Cirque,
Hmm.
and we ran for 2 or 3 years at Stageworks until Stageworks closed down, and then we just kind of closed up shop ourselves. I was artist in residence there for a while. I forget about that sometimes, but during the last year of Stageworks, I was artist in residence. Um, I have had two. I have my one-man show, which I've ran a number of times in different locations, and the two-man show with Nick. And I've had two Fringe runs, one at the San Francisco Fringe, which was kind of miserable, and one at the Hollywood Fringe, which was a lot of fun, both of which lost a lot of money. I've had a couple runs at Church of Clown, which made a little money, you know. So it's been there've been really positive things, and there's been you, and you've been super supportive and helpful and a partner in all of this stuff, and that's been great.
The hill turn's going to be epic, though.
What is your heel turn?
Well, I can't tell you that. It wouldn't be a surprise then.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to figure out what it would be. It's going to be a surprise because I can't figure out what it would be.
Yeah.
Other than you just get irrationally crazy about some little thing and you won't let it go and it ends us.
I mean, I think you've already seen evidence of that.
Yeah, but you tend to grow past it and let it go after a certain amount of time. But this would be like on a fundamentally different level.
Okay.
It would be, murder me in my sleep level.
Well, that wouldn't be ending us. That'd be just ending you.
Yeah, but it'd be ending our relationship.
Well, would it?
Yes, I'd
I
be
mean,
dead.
you'd be married to me till you die. That's kind of what you
Then our
want.
relationship would be over.
Well, no, just the
Yeah,
marriage.
no, we would no longer have a relationship if I was dead, darling. I'm sorry. That
But
is,
that's what you want.
no, I want to be with you until we die.
Oh, you didn't say we before.
I know. I didn't think I had to. Now I realize.
Okay, you got to be more specific.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, so things have been up and down for me in the last 6 years and for you as well. The stuff with your dad, the stuff with you getting sick and the surgeries. And but like you started learning Lyra 3, 4 years ago?
I guess, excuse me, 4 years ago, yeah.
4 years ago, and that's great. And you've made a great deal of progress, and you're soon, in less than a year, probably about 6 months, going to have to start performing in front of audiences
Yeah, but
outside of showcases.
there's no guarantee. There's no, I don't know, I don't see a pathway to that.
I do.
Well, what is the pathway to that?
We, I'm confused. You do it. You devote a certain amount of time every week to developing your routine. We've already started talking about what might make a good routine, at least in my mind. But if you have other ideas, we can go with
I'm
those.
sorry, what I'm saying is I don't see a pathway to becoming a performer.
Again, I don't understand. I'm not trying to be difficult. I just really don't understand what you're saying.
Well, when you're saying I will be performing in front of people, to me that says, oh, there's a rule book. There's steps you follow, and then it happens.
No, there's the steps that we've laid out already. They're not that difficult or complex. We just practice until we're good enough to be in front of an audience, to some degree. We don't have to be perfect. We just have to be good enough to put it in front of an audience. We have to be good enough to do the thing that we're trying to do.
Okay.
So we practice until that point, and then we do it in front of an audience,
Okay.
and then you're performing in front of audiences.
All right. So it's the whole like, it feels like step one, step two, question mark, step three, profit.
Profit. Yeah, it's not though. There is no step two. There's step one and step three. There is no step two.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. There has to be a step two.
Well, then the step two is step three, but that's what it is. Is you work and you practice, then I do my part, which is set us up someplace to perform, and then we rehearse together, and then we go perform there.
Okay.
And then we have a show that we will hopefully do a number of times.
Right.
You want,
Speaking of which, you still have to do your shows in Portland.
yeah, I want you to be part of those.
Yes, but I mean, you also have to make sure that Nick is part of those. According,
I,
I
well,
mean,
no, hold on. Um, Ideally, yes, but if we put on a 45-minute show there, that's good enough.
I'm just saying because of the Kickstarter.
Yeah, there's one person who paid for us to enough for us to come somewhere, and technically they didn't, but they totally did. They paid so much money. The Kickstarter said we'd go within 600 miles. that's beyond 600 miles. That's like 1,200 miles to Portland. But but it's a lot more feasible that we can give them the show that they want to see if it's you and me than if it's you and me and Nick, because that's a whole extra layer of logistics that I have to take care of. If Nick is up to it and wants to do it, then we would totally do that as well.
Alrighty.
But that's a matter of whether or not Nick wants to do it and is up to it. I think he's very busy right now, so we'll have to see how his life is going. I just realized I got this microphone pointing at the side of my head, and I've not been looking at it to talk into it at all.
Oh.
That's why I wanted to put the microphones here in between us. That's why I need another table that's about, or stool that's about this tall.
Well, I mean, we've got TV trays.
I didn't think about that. I guess we could use a TV tray. I didn't remember. I was thinking, what do we have? And I thought nothing. I forgot that we had TV trays. Where are they?
They're around. One of them's over
Oh,
there
I see it.
against the wall.
I see it in the other room. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the broken one, but it still works. So,
I mean, we're not putting anything heavy on it, so.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got to go to Portland. I've got to do my shows there. Um, but I was talking about something else.
Yes. You were talking about how life is ups and downs.
It is, and detailing what those ups and downs were, because something that we've noticed, that I've noticed, that we've discussed many times, is that between July and October, sometimes August and October, but often July. It's August now, and it's in full swing. I have a seasonal emotional issue. It used to be crippling anxiety and depression, but that's gotten a lot better since you've been in my life.
Hmm.
Again, I can't say it's you, but I think that has something to do with it.
Okay.
Job stability has had a lot to do with it. Job tolerability,
I mean, it could be correlation.
as was the causation.
Yes.
Something had to cause it to get better because it's been going on for over 20 years. So something had to make it better. And something in the one major change in the last 6 years is, I married you and moved out here. And I think some element of that has had to do a lot with my ability to tolerate life between July and October.
Okay.
But one of the main problems I have between July and October is I start crawling out of my skin and feeling trapped and want to quit my job. And it happens every single year that I start, trying to figure out what my other options are, what my ways out are, what my exit strategy might be. I've got a better job now than I had 3 years ago, and that was a better job than I had the 2 years before it, and so on. But every time, this is what happens. After a certain amount of time, I'm just like, this isn't working anymore. And in my current job, for like 3 years, pretty much 3 years, I've been saying I need to make this much money. And the reality is, I need to either make that much money or feel some kind of emotional fulfillment from my work. And after I started this job as an event producer, event manager producer, they rapidly relegated me to HR instead.
Well,
So I don't get a lot of fulfillment out of my job. I do get paid well. I just don't get paid enough for what I need to live.
right.
I do get paid well. I don't want to say like they're ripping me off or exploiting me. They're not. Um, yeah,
So you're having your seasonal crash out.
my seasonal crash out. Yeah, my deep need to escape, to just get out of my skin and do something different than what I'm doing right now. My need to run, my flight response that happens every summer.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're able to put a name to it.
Yeah, I just wish I could turn it off. And now that I'm back on Adderall, that is helping, I think. I don't feel as, crawling out of my skin as much as I did 4 days ago before I started taking Adderall again, but it's still there, still present. And I don't know what to do about it. I've taken some steps, made some efforts. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, yeah. And then you just have to, hold it fast until something changes or until October rolls around, which you'll have to do anyway because you've got to play.
I'm in a play. I'm not supposed to publicly announce that, so I
So we're
won't
not
say
going to talk
what.
about it.
Well, I will talk about it, but I won't say what play it is or where it is. But it's community theater, and I got cast in. How is that?
It's very good. It's very limey.
Ginger lime poppy soda. She's
Mhm.
trying it for the first time. I got a cast in a role in a community theater production of a classic children's story, I guess, is one way to look at it. And I haven't done much straight acting in my life, and I want to do more straight acting. So this was a big opportunity for me. And a couple weeks ago, my wife sent me an email saying, "Hey, they're having auditions," but it turned out that the last day to submit an audition was that evening by 10 o'clock. So I had to find a monologue online and memorize it and record it and send it in. And I got callbacks. And so the following weekend, I went and did callbacks for 5 hours, 5 hours worth of callbacks. That was crazy. And then I found out like yesterday, the day before, that I got a role. And that's pretty great. And that'll be running October into November. So starting rehearsals in September.
Yep. So, actually, that's not super much rehearsal. It's like, a few weeks.
Well, September through November.
Well, I mean, you're including the run in the
Yeah.
rehearsal.
So if we say beginning of September through end of October is rehearsal. So that's about a month and a half worth of rehearsal, and then like 3 weeks of the actual run.
Yeah, and I guess and rehearsal's probably mostly like evenings and weekends.
Yeah. Sunday through Thursday is what they said.
Yeah, so yeah, that'll be stretching your wings.
Yep.
Or,
Hopefully I can pull it off. I'm sure I can pull it off, but hopefully I can pull it off.
well, I mean, not to be not to be catty
Okay.
in an identifiable way,
Okay.
but we've definitely seen people.
Oh yeah, we've seen people in community theater who are garbage.
Yeah.
We've also seen some great performances. We've seen some amazing performances alongside people who were garbage in community theater because a number of our friends from Circuit A also performed in smaller theaters.
Yes. So I mean, it's not like you're gonna.
To clarify, our friends from Circuit A were the good performers, and other people were the garbage ones.
Yes. So it either way, it will be a growth opportunity for you.
Yeah, and it should also be fun and interesting, and the people seemed, for the most part, not irritating
Yeah.
and interesting and fun.
And you're starting to make friends, which is interesting.
Yeah, we're supposed to go on a like a dinner date, evening out kind of thing with another couple sometime in the near future, which I need to figure out the logistics of and set up,
Yes. Yes, you do.
which would probably be a karaoke room.
Yes, he went to this person's birthday party
Uh-huh.
and then decided that what we really needed is to be trapped in a room together for 4 hours.
Well, I'm thinking probably more like two, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. So,
2 or 3 hours of karaoke. That's about all I can handle for karaoke.
okay. I mean, if it's only four of us, you're going to be doing a lot more singing than you might imagine.
Yeah, but I mean, I've got my list, so
Yeah, you'll have to expand your list.
maybe I've got on my phone. I have a keeps note with just like 30 freaking karaoke songs on them.
Songs that you know or songs
Songs
that
that I
you,
have done in karaoke.
okay,
Because we used to do karaoke um
weekly.
weekly online. How do I not have there's search? We used to do karaoke online um on with our friend Bruce, well, friend of the Velvet Fist,
Friend of the podcast
friend of the podcast, Bruce, um,
who
for
used
a
to,
number of years.
yeah, who used to do karaoke in a neighborhood facility establishment. That establishment then closed, and as the pandemic happened, so then he went online and also I think moved out of the area. And but then more recently he decided that he needed to put his efforts more into offline stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
he stopped doing his online karaoke.
A couple of years ago now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
been a little bit of time.
So I'm just looking, I have all these categories of different songs that I do. And I used when we would do the weekly karaoke online, I would just pick a theme for that night and pick out all the songs I want to try and do that night.
He does like a theme.
Do like a theme and subverting a happy ending, as my wife has pointed out on a couple of occasions.
Um, Something that made me think of you
Okay.
was I was at the radio station and the person whose show comes on after mine actually came into the station for the first time in a long time because during the pandemic when we were doing everything remotely, I think sometime around there his schedule he moved out of the he moved further away from the station, and also his schedule changed. Now he like works graveyard or something, so it's less convenient for him to come in on Saturday mornings.
At 9 a.m., yeah.
Yeah. So, but he came in because he was doing an interview, and he said that he's changed how he does his show now, which I thought he'd already been doing it that way, but now he plans out everything in advance. And I assumed that he had been planning out everything in advance because he will occasionally do like, oh, someone's having a birthday, so I'm going to play, songs in tribute to this person's birthday. And so I assumed that he was always planning out his shows, but I guess he was flying by the seat of his pants, as so many other people do. Um, but maybe with a lot more. But since he's got a smaller genre window, since he plays just blues, and with more knowledge of people within that genre, maybe it all just sounded very cohesive just because he gave himself rules that allowed him
Mhm.
to excel. But he says he likes planning out everything in advance because it allows him to go deeper, which makes a lot of sense. And I don't like planning things out in advance because I don't like planning.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of you and your whole, you always give yourself rules uh for like when you do radio shows and stuff.
I think when I do anything, I tend to force myself into some kind of structure that I have created to make it more focused, I guess, more limiting in a certain way, and that I think that expands your creativity to give yourself a structure to follow. And it definitely makes things more cohesive. Yeah.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense. And I thought about, oh, could I do something like that? Like maybe I could. Like we're going to be out of town in a couple of weekends. Maybe I could plan ahead, record a show in advance, and have that show actually have a theme. But then I don't think I'll actually end up doing it because it requires pre-planning, which I'm bad at.
At time, it takes a lot more time to do it that way.
Yeah,
Like my radio show took 3 hours of prep every week,
at least.
at least 3 hours of prep, um, to find the songs and download, rip the songs and upload them to the right computer and create my playlists and create all my talking points for the radio show when I was doing it live. And yeah,
And I would definitely not be doing all of that. I'd probably just be like making a list and then seeing what's in the library and then recording it live to tape or something.
at the station.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Because when you were sick, when you had your surgeries, we did those at home. We did those on the laptop.
Yeah, but it was mostly what we were doing at home was mostly I was taking previously recorded shows because I've got all these
Oh, okay.
recordings. I would fill in the gaps for shows that didn't make the time length and also put in, take out old PSAs and
PSAs.
put in new ones, that sort of thing. But I wasn't like doing a whole new thing from scratch. So,
Oh yeah, I'd always wondered how we did that before, like where we got the songs from, because I remember getting two or three songs for you, but not like whole shows worth.
yeah, so sometimes it'd be like, oh, this show's a little bit short. Let me find some songs that I think would fit. Or it could be like, I don't know, stuff. But yeah, I think because I tend to record all my shows and I have them all somewhere. Not all of them are accessible, but a lot of them are on the cloud. So it was like, oh, then I after I upload them, I usually change the name to give me some indication of what was played, and then I can figure out what I want to fill in, like at least based on genre, as long as I can understand whatever poetic title I gave the episode.
Yeah, that's another thing I stopped doing. I stopped doing my radio show.
Yep.
But the other thing I started doing in the last 6 years was the radio show. So
Yes. And you're very on and off about that.
yeah, I am. I've not been consistently at the station for like a full year in a row. I think I've done more than a year's worth of shows, but I haven't done 1 year straight, I don't think.
Yeah. And I don't know what to say about that. That's just a fact of the matter.
Yeah, it's so much work. It's so much work and the payoff is less.
Well, because you want people to be interacting with you as you're on the radio.
Or at least I want to know that people are actually being reached, and there's no way to know that.
Yeah,
And
you're
that makes it harder to find the fulfillment in it.
um meanwhile, I'm fine with not like I assume that no one is listening and I'm most surprised if people do. I assume that no one is listening and it makes it easier for me like not to worry about what I'm doing. Like, oh, I hope I didn't bother anyone with the song. Well, no one's listening anyway, so I'll just go ahead and play the song.
I remember I did one episode in the first song, someone called repeatedly to tell me it was the worst song they'd ever heard, and then started like yelling at me.
Sorry that happened.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad. I mean, it was a difficult song. It wasn't an easy song to listen to by any means. It was like a steel drum and accordion version of a Ramones song. I think it was like "Beat on the Brat" or something.
Hmm.
It was very difficult. And they're singing in a high pitched falsetto, like ready made. It was a weird song. I probably shouldn't have started the show with it.
Uh, well, air freak flag fly.
Yeah,
I mean, begin as you mean to continue. If you're gonna play weird stuff, play it off the bat and scare away all the normies.
and that's what I did that one night at least.
Yep. And people call in to play about all sorts of stuff. I think because we used to have a more robust email list for the radio station. I remember someone sending an email to the group list talking about how someone had called in to complain about the jungle thump music that was being played, which was probably like rap or something.
Yeah, that's very racist.
Yep, it happens sometimes. I don't get many calls in
Well,
anymore.
you're very early in the morning. Yeah,
Yes, and also I don't give out the phone number anymore.
I would give out the phone number, but I would say text us, and I would never suggest that people call. Not once would I suggest someone call me.
Yeah, and same.
Go ahead.
But if you're doing ticket giveaways, people, it's better to call than text.
Yeah, I would occasionally get calls anyway. I occasionally get texts, and that was nice to get the texts. Um, I remember my first episode, maybe someone was talking about how they didn't know there were this many cover songs or that they could be so sassy. It was a very
Cute.
nice comment, yeah.
Yeah, that is a nice comment.
So those are some of the good things and bad things that have happened. My gallbladder exploded. That
Yeah,
happened in the last 6 years. I was just thinking about it the other day. I finally had a surgery. I'd never had surgery before that. Maybe a little brief on my shoulder, but that's it.
yeah. I find it quite relaxing.
I didn't.
I know you had a much worse experience staying in the hospital than I did. You
Yeah,
were also there for longer.
2 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah,
at least.
yeah. Someone gave you a Nintendo Switch.
Yep, I still got it. There's the plug for it right there.
Yeah.
It's around here somewhere.
Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be in bed all day and I don't have to do anything because I can't physically move. That's great.
I got these two new paintings. You see the little ones?
Oh, well, you got them 3 years ago, you
I got them
said.
3 years ago. I just realized I'd never hung them up. I opened up a bag when I was setting up for video podcasting today. I'm like, what is in this bag that has been here forever? There was presents from a birthday party 3 years ago that I had never hung up, and I felt so guilty, so I immediately hung them up.
Well, I hope you sent those people a thank you.
I did at the time. Um, so we've talked a little bit about me being in the throes of my mental health crisis that happens every year,
Hmm.
my minor crisis. Um, what's been going on with you?
Oh, what's been going on with me? Well, let's see. I mean, it's been summer, so that's in a school context. As a person who works in the admin side of things, I don't really take a lot of time off in general, but it's because staycations don't necessarily inherently occur to me, and vacations aren't necessarily financially accessible, so I don't take a lot of time off. Um, so I've just been plugging away uh at work stuff and also trying to be a decent daughter, which is much harder than work.
No, no, it's not. You just have a much harder time of it because of your situation.
Yes, as I said, much harder than
Okay.
work.
I'm just sorry. Yes. Okay. I don't want to go there. Sorry.
Um, I realized that,
Sorry. Just to be clear, you do an amazing job of being a good daughter.
okay, I hear you.
I know you don't agree with me, but I'm right.
I feel like you might have low standards.
I don't have low standards. I have reasonable American culture standards.
Well, that's what I just said. Anyway, um,
How many hours a week do you spend cleaning your mom's house?
well, not super many, just like,
2.
yeah.
I wonder on average how many hours most people spend cleaning their parents' house.
I don't know, but I do remember listening to watching an episode of like Live with, I think maybe when Regis was still on the show, like Live with Regis and Kelly, and she was talking about going to visit her parents in New Jersey or wherever, and she and her husband get there, and they're like, her dad is like, okay, you hear the trash cans, you gotta go clean them, just because you're famous and have money doesn't mean you don't have to work. So, I think people help out their parents.
Yeah, but they don't do it every week. She was on vacation. She probably moved away for a reason.
I'm sure she
So she
would.
wouldn't be there cleaning the fucking garbage cans every week. Every week you spend a number of hours cleaning your mom's house. We're not talking about caring for your mom. You spend a number, you spend a portion of every day giving care to your mother.
Well, or at least attention.
Yep. I think those qualify as the same thing here, but that's me. Um, that is more than most people. Obviously, it's a lot more than me because my parents live far away, but it's more than most people would do. And you do a lot of it and you don't get any credit for it. And that's what bothers me. You don't get a lot of gratitude for it. So sorry, I just wanted to clarify when I said it was harder for you. I didn't mean that you are worse at it. I meant that you're very good at it and you just don't get a lot of positive feedback for the stuff that you do.
Well, yes, that's true. I get more negative feedback for the stuff I don't do or the stuff I don't do correctly.
Yeah.
That is all very true. And it's mostly that, well, there are a number of reasons. And my relationship with my mom is complicated, etc. Anyway, so there was that. And I did have some downtime in the summer, so that wasn't the worst. I did my tradition for the past 3 years has been to participate in the student showcase at the Ariel Studio, and I did that, even though it was like the hardest thing for two reasons. One, like in previous years, I missed one rehearsal
Mhm.
because the first rehearsal for the group performance always seems to coincide with a day that the one Saturday I have to work, or one of the two Saturdays that I have to work. And then the other reason I missed a second rehearsal because of going to LA for your show. Um, and then it just felt like, and then also it was harder choreography, in part because I was learning it from video, and then when I actually got together to actually do the in-person part, people were doing things differently from the video, and I was like, oh, well, should I keep doing it as I've been doing it, or should I adjust to what you guys are doing? And so we never really got the timing of that correct. But then also the other portion of it was, oh yeah, you have to now figure out what you want to do as your solo portion, which was also a challenge. So it was hard because there was more of a lift, and it was hard because I felt like I was constantly behind on the rehearsal thing, which was kind of like how I felt about summer. I felt like I was constantly, I think someone asked me how I feel about work, and I'm like, I either feel okay or I feel behind.
Yeah.
I never feel ahead of the curve or great. Uh, and so anyway, the performance happened, and so that was my big summer project, I guess. I mean, I kind of messed it up a little bit.
As a minor, you did a really good job.
Yeah.
I know I'm saying that as your husband, but as a circus arts partaker, I'm not an authority, but I've seen a great deal of circus arts. I've seen a great deal of student showcases. I've seen a great deal of student performances. I thought you did a really solid job, darling.
Yeah, I just know that I mean, I hope I can do better.
I think you can, but I mean, you got to keep doing it to do better.
Yeah, and that's the challenge. Uh, it's always so hard to to strive to improve.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Cola out of town, your coach.
No, she wasn't. I think she's out of town last weekend, but she seems to be.
Because I think it's time to start looking at getting at least a couple of private lessons to start on working on your own act, and then having her come back towards the end to help tighten it up and polish it.
Well, so there's the other conflict because that's going to cost money.
Yep, I get that. But I'm just saying that makes more sense to spend money on than some other things that aren't. Like of the things that we don't have to spend money on, of those things, that would be a priority.
Okay, well, cash flow is a general concern at the moment.
At the moment, yeah, cash flow is a big issue.
So, like, I don't know what I would take away from to make that happen. Um, anyway, so summer. I've been trying to get, big and strong, and I don't know. I feel like I'm working on some things, letting some things fall by the wayside, and the notion of like trying to like be all the things that I want to be is just like it feels impossible. So, um, but anyway, summer's over. Summer's a myth. It doesn't exist, and we're back in the school year as of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um, and then we're going to a wedding.
We are. We're going to Houston, Texas to see a wedding. To attend a wedding, a pair of weddings from the same couple.
Yeah, because it's obviously for my side of the family, you don't seem to be like a wedding attending person.
Well, my side of the family consists of myself, my dad, and my mom.
Yeah, you also don't have any friends getting married or anything.
Yeah, we went to Dylan's wedding
Yeah,
last year.
I think so.
Yeah,
Or sometime. I don't remember exactly.
yeah.
Yes, we did go to Dylan's wedding.
But yeah, my friends don't do a lot of getting married. My step siblings, not really close enough to them to be, and I think they're beyond the marrying stage right now. And my brother, I mean, Jesus, I hope he never gets married again.
Mm.
I feel horrible for that person.
Yeah. So we've been as it's Nigerian, so there's the traditional wedding and then there's the white wedding. And so we've had to get outfits for we didn't have to, but
We had to, it said to.
yeah, there's a dress code. So traditional attire for the traditional wedding in the color scheme that they've selected, which I'm already having feelings about because they sent out the WhatsApp message about buying the SOB in May or March or whatever, and I didn't respond to it because I A, money, but then B, I didn't. My mom didn't mention that she was buying it, so then I thought, okay, maybe this is optional. But then mom was like, "Oh, I got mine." I was like, "Well, why didn't you tell me that?" Because then I would have paid more attention to this and actually gotten mine as well. But I didn't. So I'm just hoping that I fit in because apparently they're different color schemes based on age. So mom was like, "Oh, the old ladies are wearing green, but the younger people, I guess maybe pink." I don't know. I don't know I don't know what anyone else who is going to be in my age range at the traditional wear ceremony is going to be wearing. And the bride is 25. So I'm an auntie. Anyway, so I'm hoping to fit in. We'll see what happens. And then, there's the actual wedding day itself, which is a turquoise color scheme. And, I didn't give myself enough time to get a turquoise outfit, so it's not going to happen. But I'm hoping that with the outfit that I did get, so assuming it fits, we'll see tomorrow, I will get turquoise accessories, and maybe that will be okay.
Well,
But it's a Nigerian wedding, so also my entire aspect is flawed. I have to get my hair done. I'm wondering about my nails. Is it going to be okay that I don't have my nails done, or do I have to do that too? And makeup. I'm gonna have to wear something because people are judgy. So
I
I'm,
mean, I'm like, is there a way I can pull some of that pressure off of you by being the one who's getting judged? But I think that's still you're getting judged on me. So
yeah, you have to. This is why I'm trying to be like, hey, so culturally, these are some things you might want to bear in mind. But you're also a white guy, so they're not
yeah.
gonna.
But I mean, I took off my nail polish, my gel nails, and this computer focus on the camera is super weird.
Hmm,
I took off my gel nails and I'll take out my earrings and hopefully no one comments on the fact I have big ass holes in my ears and
they probably won't notice.
yeah.
We'll see.
And and we're going to Houston. We're hopefully going to run into our friend Texas while we're in Texas.
Hopefully, gonna go
Hopefully.
to a Waffle House.
Hopefully go to White House. Trying to figure out other things to do while we're in Texas. There's a Meow Wolf there. I don't know if we'll have time for that. But there's also at least a couple of other places to go and do things.
Yep. And there's all sweating. I think sweating is free.
Yeah, it usually is.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be fun. We'll get some photos. Hopefully we'll get some dancing in. I'm a little concerned about you dancing uh
Dress shoes.
in your dress shoes.
I might wear Chucks.
But as long as you don't fall, we're okay.
I believe you can wear Chucks with a suit. I don't know if other people are going to agree with that, but that's how I feel.
Well, I feel like there's going to be a certain level of peacocking, and if you can peacock adequately in your chucks, then okay.
Yeah. Though, I mean, I have boat shoes for the turquoise suit,
Yep.
and I have to wear those with the turquoise suit because I don't have turquoise chucks.
Yes.
I'd be like another 80 or $90, and I'd have to get them and tell you, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Right.
But but I do have purple chucks that'll hopefully match the purple native. Uh, the is native isn't the African suit. Native is the
Well,
foreign
yeah.
word.
Online, just look. It looks like some people call it a senator suit, so I'm sure that's fine. But you also have your fancy shoes, so one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't want to spend a day wearing those purple dress shoes.
I understand. Uh,
I definitely can't dance in those for any amount of time.
I don't know how much dancing is required. I'm sure they'll be dancing
Yeah.
at the white wedding. I'm not sure exactly. Like I have some idea what's going to happen at the native wedding, but not entirely. And apparently, so this girl's a Nietzsche. Her fiance is Yoruba. That's interesting.
They traditionally don't get along, right?
Well, I don't know if they originally don't get along. I'm just like, whoop. Uh, I'm just like she's not marrying a Nietzsche man. What happened? And my mom was like, well, he was just this guy. He spent a lot of time making his case. He came to every event. He was always helpful and polite. So eventually they were just like, yeah, I think we can see it. So, he had to work. And then she brought up and she was like, oh, he's just that guy. He was just like that other guy. Uh, I think his name was Chuka, the guy that I think when they were still in the phase of trying to find me a match, they like set me up with him.
Mhm.
And um and then mom, when she was still living here, invited him to come visit. Uh
Like stay with you guys?
I think so, or at least he came from New York to visit. So he but and he was nice enough, but like he was also he also was a little annoying for I don't remember all of our interactions, but I remember that once when we were chatting online, he asked how my day was, and I started talking about work, and he was like, "Oh, don't you have anything to talk about other than work?" So I'm like, "Well,
No.
this is part of my day, so I don't know what else you want to hear about." And then I think when he came to visit, we went to like Fry's Electronics, and I was looking for a new microwave, and he was like, I was like, he thought the microwaves I was looking at were boring. I'm just like, okay, I feel like you just think that I'm dull, which is fine, but then we're not going to get anywhere with
How
this.
sexy does a microwave need to be?
I don't know. So I feel like he gave me the impression that he thought I was basic, which is fine. But also like, obviously, this isn't going to work out. Plus, if I can complain a bit more, my mom's priority, especially in finding a husband for me, was finding someone who would take her side if she and I were having an argument.
Oh, she failed in that role.
And so that was just never going to be okay for me because I'm like, if I'm married to him, then he has to take my side. So
Yeah.
sorry. That's
Well, she
just
must, maybe that explains some of her antipathy towards me
could.
because I don't think I had ever taken her side.
Yeah, but also I think in some ways she's jealous of the fact that I take spending time with you takes time away from her.
Yeah, she didn't want that either. I mean, I don't know what she expected when you got married,
Yeah, I don't I
but she also expects you to spend time with her every single day.
well, not every day,
That is
thankfully.
her goal.
It would be it's something she would like, and she wants both service time and hangout time.
Yeah, so the time that you spend working for her and time that you spend just hanging out as her dog.
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't leave any time for you, much less me.
Yeah, it is I find it a bit of a heavy lift, but
I find it deeply irritating that I ended up in a sitcom relationship.
well, I guess the other thing is I she's just like it'd be so much easier for me to like just want to spend time around her if she actually respected any of my time boundaries, but she doesn't. She always like it's like I have to give her a smaller window because she's always going to be expanding that window.
Yep.
It's always going to be like, okay, so is there anything else you need before I leave? And then there's going to be like a list of
Just
things.
don't ask.
But I have to ask
Why?
because if I don't ask, then it's like leaving the job half done.
But you don't have to do the job. I know you think you do. I know you think you do. But I am saying you do not have to do that job.
Okay. So I I acknowledge that you've said this.
Okay. Pass me that measuring tape.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Dropped some of your stickers. Anyway, so other things that are happening. I don't remember your other sticker one. Probably in the bag, sorry.
That's good. Other things that are happening.
Um, I don't know. There's just what else is happening? Oh, we saw some stuff.
We did. But let's talk about some good stuff. And we enjoyed the stuff we saw. But let's talk about some good stuff. There's got to be good stuff going on.
Um, yeah, I mean,
We have our show that we're working towards.
yes, but we don't have.
We've made progress towards our show. We
So,
know. Go ahead.
here are the things
Okay.
that are stressing me out about the show.
Okay.
I have to get better
Okay.
at Lyra in order to do the things that you would like to see, in order to do the things that I would like to see. I feel like our visions for how my Lyra thing will go align, but I have to get better in order to be able to accomplish them. Two, you have suggested that I learn how to play the ukulele, and that means I need to learn how to play the ukulele. And I used to play the guitar, or at least I used to take guitar lessons, but my ukulele knowledge is zero at this point. Three, I need to work on my singing, and I have not given myself, I've not yet figured out how to work singing exercises and expanding my singing ability into my day. And I have the singing playlist that I've created, and I just haven't exercises, just 5 minutes a day would help you so much, but you haven't done it yet. So,
Okay.
and I need to choreograph our dance.
Okay. So I have solutions for all these.
Okay.
Number one, you need to get better at Lyra. You will get better at Lyra. Stop it. I'm answering your questions, your statements. You do not get to pinch me for tickles right now. You have to wait until I'm done. Um, you will get better at Lyra by pursuing doing Lyra. That's it. Just by trying to figure out your act, you're going to get better. I know you want to get better at specific things, but I'm just saying you're going to get better in general just through the process of trying to figure out what your act is going to be. And then once you figure that out, you can refine that to specific motions. Okay, so that's number one.
Okay.
Number two, singing and ukulele and dancing. Um, they can just go back where it was or on your desk or something. They can be broken down by month. This month we will do this. This month we will focus on this. This month we will focus on this. This month we will put them all together.
Okay.
So pick whichever one you think will be easiest to start with, and that's the one you do first. You take a step, and then you take another step.
Okay.
And I know you know I'm right, so why will that not work?
I I feel like I've mentioned this before. Back before, in the before times, before my gym rat era, one of the reasons I didn't want to start going to the gym was because once you go to the gym, it's like you're constantly having to it's like plateauing is a bad thing. You're constantly having to go for self-improvement. And 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 I was like, I don't want to constantly be striving for stuff. Sometimes it's okay to just be.
Mhm.
But here I find myself at a stage in life where I'm constantly striving for stuff, and it's stressful.
Okay. So give yourself some grace. Try and give yourself the grace you might give me. Does that make sense?
I need more explanation.
You're not going to write on me for not being as good as I think I should be or I think I can be. You're going to tell me to not overstress on things, not freak out about stuff. So
Okay.
you need to give yourself that same kind of grace.
Okay.
You don't have to constantly strive to be better. Plateauing is okay. As we've discussed, you want to perform at 80% of your capacity.
Which means you constantly,
No, you don't have to constantly. It means you have to get to a point that is 20% above where you want to perform at, and you can stay there. How often do I practice my plates?
hardly ever.
Right, because I got my 80% or better, and I just have to brush off the dust before I have to perform them because they're ingrained, I mean, I know muscle memory isn't a real thing, but whatever the real word for that is, they're ingrained in my muscle memory, so I know how to do them physically without thinking about them. That's what you got to do. Plateauing is good. Plateauing is like, this is where I want to be. And so I need to be just slightly above that for my actual skill level. And you aim at that and you do your pyramids, your sets, your reps of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Uh, in juggling,
Okay, okay,
you do reps, but you do you're either doing more every rep or less every rep. I think it's you start with, 5 catches, 4 catches, 3 catches, 2 catches, 1 catch, and you're done.
okay,
But they got to be perfect. They got to be clean and correct.
okay,
And you always end clean because your body remembers the last thing you did better for some reason. Recency bias, I guess. And that helps you get it ingrained. But you plateau. That's important to get to your skill level. And then all you have to do is maintenance.
okay.
Number three, ukulele. They teach toddlers to play the ukulele.
So I have to, okay,
I can even play ukulele. I mean, not well, but I still have vague recollection of how to make some chords. And that's all it is you have to learn the 3 or 4 chords in the song that you're going to sing and how to play those and then how to strum. And strumming is the hardest part, for me at least, is learning the right kind of rhythm to strum with because my rhythm isn't great.
you also have to know how to tune it.
No, there are programs for that and devices.
Okay,
Tuning is the hardest part is strumming. Not learning the chords, just learning the strum patterns.
okay,
You'll be great at ukulele. That won't be a problem. You're only learning one song. It's not like you're learning a songbook or an oeuvre. You're learning a song on the ukulele.
okay,
Now, if we do it the way I want, you're going to be playing that song while hanging upside down by your knees. That might be a little more difficult, but that's why you spend a month learning to play the song, so you've got it all the way down, and then you can start fucking with it.
okay.
And I'll practice with you because I need to practice that song as well. Was there another point that I needed to poke holes in?
The dance choreography.
Dance choreography? We're probably gonna have to get someone to help us with that.
And also,
But that's why that'll come last.
also,
Okay.
that's why I want you to start working on your movement
Okay,
practice.
great. We'll do that. I agree with that.
Okay, because you got hips and stuff.
We got hips and stuff. I got problems with my hips and stuff. Really, most of the problems are my left side. Isn't that weird?
Is it?
I think so. My left shoulder and my left hip are the ones that are impinged.
Well, I mean, the body is a holistic system, so maybe there's something going on with your left side that causes. I mean, you've had the shoulder problem for longer, so
Yeah. Okay. So that's a bunch of stuff. But those are good things. And we're going to make a thing that we both enjoy and care about. And we're going to do it for friends and family.
yep,
And we'll have to do some version of it that doesn't have my show in it for your mom.
yep. Well, I mean, the good thing about you being in a play is maybe that would be,
Yeah.
especially if you can, if you do incorporate some of your circus arts into your character.
Yep. I had a thought about since there is
Hat juggling.
no doing a little bit of flair, but my bottle pours very slowly and will pour constantly for a number of minutes, at least a minute or two before it runs out of fluid. And I had this thought about like pouring things and constantly having to switch glasses
Oh,
as they were filling up.
nice.
Yeah, I thought that might make a nice bit of business for the play. And I think that's why I got the role I got because of that scene.
Okay.
And they knew I could do this stuff. I guess he watched my one man show, or at least some of it,
Oh, nice.
before
Okay.
he had me do the callbacks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that you sent all your stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember sending that.
Well, you sent a link.
I sent a preview, but I didn't realize that
Maybe he looked you up online and found some other stuff.
yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
So
But
that's the
cool.
thing about being a public person.
Yeah.
Okay, so good things. I felt very pretty at the student showcase
Nice.
because you did my makeup for me, which was very nice of you. And then because one of the other girls was very into decoration. Uh, we put like crystals on our faces, and then you put rhinestones on my costume. So it was all very nice. Um, my coworker saw the video and then she asked asked for permission to share it during our staff meeting, so then all my coworkers saw the video, and my direct colleagues, and so they were all quite impressed, and that was cool. Um, I what else is good? I really like my car. It's a nice
You
car.
got a nice new car.
I don't like, I still don't like love silver as a car color,
Okay.
but I like the car.
Yeah.
It feels a bit fancy.
It is a little fancy, but that's okay.
Yes. Um, which I like if I thought about it more, I would like, oh, maybe I don't need something this fancy, but I don't mind like having the seat warmers, which I use often, and the air conditioner, which I use sometimes makes my commute more physically comfortable, which I appreciate. Um, I feel like I'm getting stronger, which is nice. I occasionally surprise myself for the things I feel physically capable of doing, which is nice. Um, what else? Uh, that's all I can think of at the moment.
Nice. I know I've lost weight, and I'm happy about that. And I continue hopefully to lose weight, but I've lost some weight, and that makes me happy. I feel like I've got a more normal shaped body. I mean, I've still got a big belly, but it's more under control and it's more shaped like a regular person than a big fat guy. Um, no, you still have a good chin. Probably always will.
I feel like it's smaller.
Okay. And and my shows at the Fringe went well, and I reconnected with some people and trying to work my way out of my PTSD induced, you know, desire to crawl out of my skin during the summer, and I added some more jokes to my stand-up routine,
Hmm.
which got some laughs. I don't know if they got sincere laughs. They got laughs when I've shared them with people recently. And there's some people who laughed a little too much. I'm just like, do they actually really find this funny, or are they just being polite? Because they're laughing a bit more than I would expect for the quality of that joke.
Okay.
You know, but still it was nice.
Yep.
And yeah, I got that play. I'm very, very happy about that.
I'm happy that you're making community connections.
Me too. Even if you have to get drug along.
I mean, yes, because I want you to have more human connections.
I want you to have more human connections,
Well, I want you to have more human
which is
connections.
why I'm dragging you along.
Well, is that is it why you're drinking me?
In part, yeah.
Okay. Um,
I mean, I could just have arranged to do something with the guy by myself, but instead it's like your wife and my wife, and let's go do a thing.
yes. So we're gonna do a thing.
Yeah, probably karaoke in a karaoke room.
Or a karaoke escape room.
I don't think that's a thing yet.
Well, we can invent it.
Okay,
Gotta hit all the right notes or you can't get out.
all right. You have a lot of dead bodies in your hand.
Yep. Well, you only have an hour or so.
Yeah.
Anyway, do we want to talk about the pop culture stuff?
Which of the two would you like to talk about?
Well,
We saw two movies.
yes.
We saw the Odyssey and we saw Spider-Man Homecoming.
So we saw
And
Tom Holland and Zendaya, and then we saw Tom Holland and Zendaya.
Barenthal, John Barenthal,
John Bernthal, yeah.
Barenthal, whatever his name is. Yeah, I think we've been at this for over an hour,
Yep.
so we should pick one. Maybe the Odyssey. We can talk about Spider-Man next time.
Okay. So I feel like okay. So I know that Nolan made a lot of changes, um, or in his adaptation, obviously. He changed some points or left some points out. Uh, and I have not read the Odyssey. So some of the changes I picked up from just like reading people's responses to it, and some of the changes and some of the things he wrote were just kind of like, I'm not sure how emotionally realistic that feels to me. Um, so like I know that it was a good film. I know that it was well made. I hear that I don't know how to assess the acting part, uh, but I don't know how much emotional resonance it had in the end.
Hmm. Some.
Okay.
That'd be my answer. Had some emotional resonance in the end. I think there was more emotional resonance in Spider-Man than in the Odyssey.
Yes, I would actually probably agree with that.
Yeah, but the Odyssey is a much prettier movie.
Yes, and I also feel like Nolan was definitely, I don't know that he was going for emotional resonance. I think he was going for lesson or t telling a particular telling I think he was trying to tell a
Allegory.
particular, yeah, or whatever, trying to tell a particular style of story or trying to convey a message. He was making a message film.
What was the message?
Maybe something about PTSD.
Okay. I thought everyone did a good job. I thought Anne Hathaway was great. I thought Bill Irwin was underused. They could have used him better. And in the story, like there's conversations between Odysseus and the Cyclops.
Yeah. And so that's another, so that's like a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Bill Irwin is an amazing performer and he's a great actor. And
But I feel like, do you only care about the character because it was played by Bill
but
Irwin?
I also feel like it would have been better played by Doug Jones. Like if you're not going to have him talking, Doug Jones is a much better mime than Bill Irwin, who's in his like late 70s, and Doug Jones is in his maybe 60s, but he's a good chunk younger than Bill Irwin, and he's got that fluidity. He's got that the cachet of doing this kind of role a lot, you know? Whereas Bill Irwin, he's an older man now, and physically you could see it in his movements. They aren't as, fluid as they may have been once. He's an incredible performer, but if you're not going to let him act, if you're not going to let him actually, interact, then why'd you put him in that role? I mean, you could have used Doug Jones, who could have done it just with his body.
Well, and you say that's because you know Doug Jones' schedule.
It's true. Maybe they tried to get Doug Jones and had to go with Bill Irwin. That's weird.
Or maybe Bill Irwin needed a job and Doug Jones wasn't available, or maybe Doug Jones didn't want to do it, or it could be any number of things. I feel like you're, it's interesting to me that your response to that character is so couched in the actor that played the character.
It is, but it's true with all of them. Like I feel that Tom Holland did a fine job, but they didn't let Tom Holland be charming, and that's why I think people have a lot of complaint about his acting in the movie is because his acting was fine. He just wasn't what he does best, which is being incredibly charming.
And the thing of it is, I don't know anything about the character from the story. Like, I don't know if the character in the story was charming.
Yeah,
Um, I know that Odysseus was supposed to be more of a trickster, and that the gods were supposed to be more involved in the overall story. And Odysseus, as a trickster, was actually, I mean, it was an element of his character, but by the time we met him, he seemed to have repented of it to a certain
yeah.
extent. And then, uh, I don't remember the second thing I said. Oh, and the gods being more involved. Yeah, we didn't really see the gods were like referenced, but in name only. We didn't like necessarily see them
But there was still
do
like a
stuff.
ton of magic in the movie, so it's not like they didn't exist. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah,
like they were a misconception of the people in the movie, and he was taking a gritty, realistic approach to the myth, to the fable, as though it were something that really happened. The gods were there; they existed. There was a great deal of
reference.
reference to them a lot of magical crap happened in the movie that would have implied they existed.
Hmm. So, uh, I'm not worried about spoilers because it's the Odyssey for God's sakes. But so some parts of the film I was just kind of like, well, these guys are still following you?
Yeah,
Like what holy bad decisions. Batman, ironically. Um,
Nolan. Okay, sorry. It
yes.
took me a minute to
Yeah.
piece that together.
Just like his men were very, very loyal. I don't know if they were just as loyal in the story, but they were definitely loyal in the movie up until the point where they couldn't be um any longer. You enjoyed Elliot Page's.
So Elliot Page did a good job. I was really curious as to see how they were going to use him, and they used him well.
Yeah. I heard someone comment that it might have been better for the movie overall to like have fewer high level stars,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There was no need for the casting to be that extravagant.
like star-studded, yeah. So I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, some of the casting, obviously Lupita Nyong'o, she wasn't in the movie for very long, but her casting got a lot of people talking.
And she did a great job.
Yeah. But with all of that said, it's like I didn't understand. Like, I kind of wonder how much was left on the editing room floor.
For a
Like,
3 hour movie, yeah.
yeah. But anyway, it was not a bad movie. It was definitely well worth watching, visual spectacle. Some parts of it that were just kind of like maybe oversold in some of the reviews that I read or responses that I saw. Like, I heard a lot of like lauding of John Leguizamo, some lauding, some criticism, and his role didn't seem that extraordinary to me.
Or that impactful, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I love a good revenge fantasy, and that's what it was. And he got his revenge in the end, and
And
he
I,
got his happy ending. So
and I kind of wondered, is that happy ending, was that a deviation from
I
the
don't
story?
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It felt like it was.
Because I'm like, really? You spent all that time and then you're spending this little time? It felt odd to me.
Yeah, it felt like his happy ending was maybe not true to the original story, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'd have to read it
Yeah.
and I haven't yet, but it's on my list to I mean not maybe not. I still have to get my reading glasses. Reading is such a challenge these days. But I can at least list I have Dungeon Crawler Carl, so I need to listen to that and then I'm going to see if I can find the unabridged version of the Odyssey to listen to.
Okay.
Though
I know I've already said this, but saying this for them as well who are listening. Dungeon Crawler Carl presents itself as a very lighthearted fantasy. It is incredibly violent and full of trauma,
yes.
especially once you get a few novels in.
Yes.
I'm on the eighth book right now, or ninth book, and it's just like, Jesus, just let this guy die already.
Well, it's kind of like when you had us do a DCC.
Dungeon
Uh,
Dungeon Crawl Classics.
yes.
Okay, I don't remember that campaign.
Uh, we had to go to an alternate universe because our to get resources because our world had,
Oh yeah, okay.
and then it was our Halloween.
Yeah, it was Halloween themed. Yeah,
Yes. So there was so we had to do in it in as you noted, it's a meat grinder. One of our players had like three, four, several characters die.
yeah. I have killed you guys before. I always think I've never killed you guys.
Yeah, and because everyone started off with multiple characters, and then
Yeah.
their characters gradually got killed off, and then some of those, and sometimes the character they were left with also got killed off. I don't like putting myself into risky situations, even in character, so my characters did not die as much, but other people's did because they played the game properly.
Sorry to keep pointing the microphone. Just
I know you want me to talk in the microphone.
yeah.
It's going to be interesting when you try to do the sound editing for this and realize like
Yeah, you're screwed.
that you sound like a normal person and I sound like a mouse uh, in a hole a mile away. Anyway, so yes, I had been concerned about watching Spider-Man, and I though I dreaded the experience of watching it, it was not a bad experience to watch, but that will be something that we talk about later, and hopefully next time we will also talk about having seen the San Francisco Mine Trip.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what's going on with that. We're supposed to go see and review them. We've been sent a link to, there's a link to watch it online, which I guess we could do. We could review that. I wanted to see them in person, but
I'm sure we can.
we might still be able to fit it in. Might. Maybe that'd be next weekend. So
You mean this coming weekend?
yeah,
Okay.
because next weekend we're in Texas.
Yes. But they were going until September.
Okay. I was thinking that might be a thing we could do with the guy and his wife was see the
Okay.
mime
Well,
trip.
if you want to do that, I mean, as long as I mean, ideally it'd be weekend. I just, if we can avoid doing it on Wednesday night, that way I don't have to like find a sub, that'd be
Well,
nice.
I work Wednesdays in the city, so
Yes, that's true.
yeah. Okay, so we talked about something positive. We talked about the dark stuff, and now it's the time that we would normally end the episode. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Something about the Muppets.
Okay, well said. Theme music by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com.